Hello everybody. Okay, so I just posted the video of me tearing out the last shawl and talking about like the surgery date and all that other kind of stuff if you haven't watched it. So I have my Colorama halo from Karen. It's the pink to teal. And I scoured a lot longer for a good pattern and I found one and I paid for this pattern. It is called the Ultimate Sacrifice. It's a funny name for the shawl, but this is how far I am. So it has little spot right here and a spot right here all the way from the center that is you grow from the edges, but then you grow from here and here so that it forms that shape. And eventually after this portion here, once I do 5 rows here, it will start the shells and it will start to form what looks like wings. And I'm really happy with it. The instructions are crazy. A lot of people in the comments are like, what the heck do I do on row 6? This doesn't make sense. And it took me probably like 12 tries ripping it in and out because I don't like to read crochet instructions. I like to see the diagram and then you just go in where the little diagram shows. I know it's difficult to make a diagram. I've tried making a couple and you think you're always perfect and then you're like, oh well, I need to put 4 more double crochet marks right there and there's only space for 1, so you know it can be crazy. I understand designers not wanting to exactly do that, but this is so exciting because it's you look for patterns and you see ones that are beautiful and you try them and you're like, this isn't really what I want to do. I don't want a super focusy kind of project right now. I want to do something that just has a few repeats or easy like this is easy. This is just a bunch of double crochets and every now and then you just do 2 in one space somewhere. And then once we get to the shells, it's going to get a little bit more exciting, but once you learn that row, you just keep going. It's not like a lot of detail. But this thing is going to be beautiful and I have an idea to make a few more, and I just downloaded the app Hobby, the HOBBII, so I can shop for yarn that fades in a certain way that I want. And there's the Halloween colors right now and it's weirdly expensive. I don't understand the prices of this stuff because I didn't know this yarn specifically was expensive, but I'm only making it in these colors because this is the yarn that I had at my disposal right now. But if I keep making this in God, would you just stop? I have so many colors that I can make this in if I can get like just the book bust this out. And my coworker already wants to buy the one I'm making right now and she hasn't even seen the colors. So yeah, and I have started a a craft Instagram, and it is always.yarning. So go on there and find. It's really slow going because I'm trying to take pictures that make everything look nice, but I've never been the fake style photographer, you know, like how people will put their knitting perfectly down and their little knitting needles perfectly stuck out and a cup of coffee here and a little cinnamon stick there and a little pine cone and all this stuff. But everybody loves that. Everybody follows that. Everybody's obsessed with like, oh, look how beautiful it is on a bright sunny day. And it's like, it's all lighting. And I don't know. I want my stuff that I finished to be showcased nicely. And so he got the idea. He's like, why don't we take it to the woods outdoors? And, you know, you can set it in your chair and lounge it in a certain way and have the forest in the background. And it's all good in theory, but your photo wants to focus on the thing that's in front of it or the thing that's behind it. So you either get the photo of the project and then the background's blurry, or the background is clear and the thing is blurry. And I tried doing it the other day because I was out there crocheting and just messing around last weekend in the woods, and I made these little tiny trinket bowls, just dorking around with some fat yarn. And he's like, oh my gosh, those are so great. And he's like, I didn't really think they would be that great when you started, but this is, oh my gosh, you should just make a million of these. And I'm like, no, these are, no. But I tried to take a photo of them. And in doing so, there was like this really beautiful log in our camp, and I set the little bowl on the log, and behind it are all these really crazy looking, like wheat looking plants behind it, and then the forest, and then grass and all this stuff. And I was taking a picture, and I was like, oh, this just looks so great to me, because I can focus my eyes forward and backward. I'm like, oh, this just looks so great. And I'm going back and forth with my eyes, like, oh, this is so great. And I take a photo, and it's trying to choose which one to be focused on. So I'm like, well, and I posted it on the always.yarning anyway, to showcase. And he wanted me to showcase, you know, like starting the circle, a little bit of the cup, a little bit more of the cup, and then finished. You know, he's like, it's such a cool thing to show the steps. And I'm like, it's so funny that I say these things to you and you ignore what I'm saying, and then a month later you have these miraculous my ideas. Okay. All right. So I posted the little 2 cute bowls that I made, and I would love to showcase some of my stuff better. And my brother used to have one of those IKEA couches, the really big L-shaped ones that, like, the L part is the chaise lounge. And I would drape my stuff over it because there was always just 2, you know, throw pillows on there, and then that, and like a picture above it. So it would look really professional, you know, whatever. But my furniture at home, I don't like the feel of actual couch material. So for his side, I put fluffy blankets over it that he has used to where they're not fluffy so much anymore. And then on my side, I sit on this pink hard couch thing, and it shows cat hair. So I have a giant long 4-yard piece of, or 2.5-yard piece of fleece in faces of cat print on it. And then I have 2 hand towels on either side of the arms, because Lita will jump up from outside. She'll come in from her little kitty door, jump up on there, walk around the back into the front, and then go drink her water that's on the counter. So she walks on all of it, so I just don't want it to get all dirty. And when you open and if I was to take all that stuff off and you could just see the pink couch, there'd be no problem, except that if you were to see out the window, you'd see a trailer beside ours. There used to be nothing there. It used to be just the house and the yard, so it would be pretty. But now the neighbor's parents-in-law moved into a trailer in their parking lot, or their parking spot. So if I was to leave the curtain closed, it would be dark. So it's like, where can I take pictures of pretty, pretty things? I feel like going to a furniture store at this point. But I don't like staging that much. I just really want to be like, look at this, and me like zoom back out, like, or walk backwards and show and everything, instead of you know, staging it so much. But when you sell things, you have to stage them. So yeah, I gotta go grocery shopping after work because we're going camping this weekend. Ish to the beach. I think we're going to the beach. Yeah, the beach and camping because it's near the whatever. Anyway, so thankfully it's not, I think, gonna be yesterday was like the hottest day of the year, I think, possibly. He said August is the hottest, and I'm like, I remember August being hot all these years, but I don't remember what point in the 3 months, July, August, or September, I start saying, when is it gonna start getting colder? Because I don't like the heat. And yeah, so I think the next one of these that I make is going to be I can even do it in those grays. I'm excited to see what size this will get. Let me do my picture thing. No, that looks stupid. Let's turn it around so you can see that there's no strings hanging from its little belly button. The little center string. But yeah. This thing is really cool. It's so easy and soft, and this halo yarn has literally a halo all over it, so it's super plushy and soft. And when I was started making the shawl, not this layout, but the one that I was starting first, I was in the van when we were camping last weekend, and there were freaking flies and gnats and mosquitoes and stuff everywhere, and we have the strip light thing all over inside the van, and you can change it to any color you want, and I was having a tough time in the low light seeing the yarn past all the halo, and so I flipped through the colors, and the different colors would highlight the halo, and then when you turn it red, the light red, it disappeared the halo completely, and you could see every single solitary stitch line, because in low light this is really hard to see through all the fuzzies. I didn't really want the lights on because then I thought it would draw the bugs because the mosquitoes and stuff were just absolutely everywhere. But yeah, I need to, if I go to the grocery store later today, that means I could take a little time to look in my storage unit for another skein of yarn. And it's not like look as in I can't find any yarn. It's that I had everything stacked in a certain way. And if you've ever seen the Amazon delivery driver, inside their truck, they have these really, really big, like soft totes, the size of probably a short refrigerator box, but like really, really wide. And I had a friend who gave me 2 of them, and so I put a lot of yarn in different bags, because sometimes the yarn has got a project attached to it mentally, like I put the colors together and stuck it in a bag and then stuck it in the yarn box. Other times I was keeping a certain type of yarn together in a bag and it's in the yarn box, and then when I dig really fast looking for different kind of things, sometimes that stuff comes out, so it's a little disorganized. And then a lot of the time I will switch yarn bags. Like right now I have my clear beach bag that I'm using, that I got from Walmart a long time ago, and it came with a zipper bag inside that clips onto it, and it's supposed to be a beach bag, but it's clear, and I wanted to be able to see the project so that when I kept leaving my bag in my car, people wouldn't break into it thinking there was a person there. It's just you could see the project in it. There's a lot of break-ins everywhere. If you make sure that they don't need to hunt for stuff inside there and they can see what's inside it, your car will get broken into less. But those tipped over, those totes tipped over. I had one on a table and one on the floor. The one on the floor is still fine, but that one has gotten stuff just dumped into it yarn wise, and I have so much yarn, but I have a lot of it broken up into groups. And then I have some in project form, and like I said, some in future project form that needs to be colored together. And I have so much of this. I just don't know if I want... It's safer to just use that. I'm talking it out with you right now, I guess. It's safer to just get more of those out and then do those. And my friend is religious. So she'll see this one and see the pink and the blue and think like it's just gorgeous and everything. But I feel like if I was to pick a more joyous, like angel-y kind of color, because these freaking shawls look like angel wings. It's so beautiful. When the person is posing with it on, she's got it wrapped around her back, and she's got, she's got her fingers kind of pinching, and she's got her arms out, and it really is so beautiful. It looks like wings. But I have so many of the colors, and then yeah, usually when I go camping I like knit hats and shawl and stuff at the same time. But this is so exciting. Like I found a pattern that it like sings to me, and I literally bought another pattern thinking it was the way. And it's there's the Find Your Fade shawl. It's a knit one though, and I've done that one, and or I've started, I was like 75% done with that one, and I was just kind of switching my yarns back and forth, and something stopped me from working on it, and it was just an amazing shawl, and I don't know why I stopped. It's in there somewhere. It's in the freaking storage unit somewhere. I need to organize it since all the stuff fell over. But I'm like, a lot of stuff fell over, and I didn't have things stacked in a precarious way. I really feel like somebody went in there and was looking through things. The thing is, nothing they would steal is gone. But why would my stuff tip over when it wasn't stacked in a bad way? Unless there was like an earthquake in there or something. There's the third floor. But there's a Find Your Fade shawl, and it's a knit one, but there is a crocheted one. But it uses, I don't know, it's not, I bought it and I looked at it, and it comes with a diagram, which is how I crochet. I mean, which is how I learn new ones if I don't just look at it and just do it because it's easy to see. But it says to chain 220 something chains, and then it gives you part of a diagram. It gives you the beginning, and then it gives you the tip, but all in one piece, so you can't see the between, so you kind of have to like seriously read the directions. And it's all like a ton of single crochets, and it doesn't look like it. So, and then I don't know, it was something I'd need to focus on, not in the state I'm in now, is what I'm trying to say. I know how to make a point. I know how to make the, point, but I don't know. It's just the diagram and the instructions were a little too complicated for an easy at work project, is what I'm trying to say. So I was going to do that, and I was really excited about it, but I was like, I need something that I can just kind of go on. And like on my break right now, I could be just busting this thing out, and then later on when my work is done and I'm waiting to go home, I can just keep working on it again, and this is an easy one to do. And I'm excited to focus while I'm here uninterrupted on the new layers of it. So yeah, oh my gosh, hopefully it's not super hot today. Yeah, I watched okay, so go on to Netflix and watch Salem's Lot, or HBO Max, whatever, I don't know what the heck it is, Max, whatever. Yeah, Max. Salem's Lot, the new one, is so freaking good. The whole time I was like, let me make the appropriate face I was really making. Like, I'm sorry about all the goo, but like, here's my face. I was going like this. I was so like taken aback because I was just like, did they just do that? Because I forgot Salem's Lot kills. Like, it just gets everybody. And I expected somebody to live that didn't, and I expected somebody to die that didn't. And I was like, this is good. If it can catch me off guard and be like, by the way. And then I watched Sinners. I watched the first half of it 2 nights ago, and then I talked to a coworker about it, and I was like, this looks good, it's a vampire movie. She's like, oh, you're gonna love it. I watched the rest last night. It was the best vampire movie I've seen in forever, and it's like old world and vampires, and it's like, the ending was nothing I would ever foresee, nothing, but it was the perfect, I mean, I can't say anything without giving it away, but I really hate it when certain types of people die, because I can't imagine them being separated. And once you watch the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like what they did to Fred and George Weasley. Like, I can't, that hurt me for like a while. But the ending was absolutely flawless. I wouldn't have changed a millimeter of that freaking film. Was so good. Sinners, oh my gosh, I think that one is actually on Netflix, I don't remember. Sorry, I thought somebody was coming. Usually when I'm on my break, people come and ask me for like, oh, can you help me, I spilled a salad, and I'm like, do your hands not work? I spilled a little bit of my coffee over here on the floor. So you walk past 3 things of paper towels to come ask me to clean it with a paper towel. But this, yeah. And then right now I'm watching the remake or whatever of Nightmare on Elm Street, just because I need something to listen to. Okay, alien talk here. Okay, like xenomorph aliens, if you are still here. anybody who likes the Alien movies and the Predator movies, you have got to go on Audible, and they're free. There are podcast episodes, which it's pretty much just it's just an audiobook, really, of different pieces between the stories, and you've got to listen to these. There's one that takes place before the Prometheus, and it explains how they got there. That one was too boring, I couldn't listen to it. The Prometheus one was good. It was like the movie, but different people died in a different order than the movie. So that was that. But the ones that center around the first Alien movie to the like second one, third one, between the third one and the first. So in the first one, Ripley does her thing. She kicks the freaking thing's ass, and she gets put in the little pod, with her and the cat, and she starts floating. And then you see in the second movie, they say, oh, you've been drifting out there for 57 years. There's a storyline that they made with all these voice actors, and one that sounds just like Sigourney Weaver. And it is freaking miraculous. It tells this little mini story, and it's a full audiobook. It's like 10 hours long, I think, of them finding her ship before those 57 years as a salvage thing, and like waking her up because they are like in danger because something's happening with their ship because of what they were doing, and they found her piece of ship, and then they like brought her alive on board with the cat and woke her up and told her, hey, it's been like 23 years, and she's like, huh? And then they say, oh, well, these things are attacking us, and she starts like tripping out and being like, no, not again, not again, not again. And they go through this insane huge adventure on this ship, and it's good. And then it has to take place in their timeline, so obviously she gets put back in it and sent off again. And then there's another storyline that takes place on the LV-426 when they rename it Acheron or whatever, with Newt's story from her birth to everybody dying except her, and the Marines and Ripley agreeing to go to come down. And then there's a storyline that's 300 years later that I'm listening to right now that's part of this whole timeline. And one of Ripley's descendants is kind of he can sense people's feelings. He can sense feelings, but not like full blown, and he doesn't really know he can do it. And they make him go there because his family line owes them all the money from her destroying the very first ship. So he gets blackmailed into going down there so that his ex-wife and kids don't get billed for the thing Ripley destroyed 300 years ago. And so he has to go there and sense when the aliens are coming or whatever to try to bring back a sample so that his kids don't get billed. And I'm on that right now, and it is an insane adventure. But the things that it reveals in the one that I told you about where she gets woke up the first time, the reason why she drifted was, I just thought that she just drifted. I didn't know there was like a whole thing behind how she kept going and why and who did it. And I was like, this is like, the voices are so perfect as well. Like, the only one that's supposed to sound like the person that it's supposed to sound like is the Ripley character, and this woman sounds almost identical to her. But all the other characters are played by different people. Even Rutger Hauer, who you know from Blade Runner, is actually the voice of Ash in this portion of the first part where it says, well, my system is voiced in this way, but it's Ash in the computer the whole time while they're having this adventure trying to mess with them. So I'm like, oh. And I've told my sister about it, and my sister is obsessed with the Alien and Predator things just like I am. But she has not listened to it yet, or else she would be like, why isn't there more? Because at the end of that first one of those things, you're like, oh my God, is there more? So, dang it. I am going to have to, what is it called? When you go into Audible, because it's in Audible, and Audible is free to use. I mean, there are free books in Audible, or you can look at it on YouTube. It's the Alien Tears River of Tears, and then there is I don't remember what the three of them are called, but if you go into Audible, or if you go online and look up Alien podcast audiobook, it'll have those newer ones in there, and one of them is called River of Tears, and that's the one where they're showing Newt and her family from Newt's birth onward. I think that's that one. I don't know. But the one that I'm on right now is they're on a different planet trying to figure out what the heck's going on so they can get a sample. And this evil lady's like blackmailing a lot of people to go do this. And there's barely anybody left. It's so good though. All right, I'm gonna go. It's 25 minutes long. My gosh. Let's show you one more time. All right, see you later. Hope you make something beautiful today.